Bernie Sanders is a self-proclaimed socialist in the Congress of the United States of America. Did you ever think you would live to see the day? Hey everybody, Weasel here, and time for another podcast. I've got a good one for you today. This one's just going to be a quick fun one. I read this article, actually. This is from a week ago. So I read this some days ago, and it's been sitting open in my browser since I read it, because I've been meaning to do a quick podcast on it, and I haven't gotten around to it. So today we're going to do it. This is going to be a short one. Well, hopefully. Cross your toes. I know I'm famous for getting off topic and dragging it on, but let's see what we can do here. Excuse me. All right. Anyways, here we go. All right. So, are Democrats blowing it? Question mark. And you know, we're not going to read this whole article because you guys already get it. You know where this is going. But let's go ahead and talk a little bit about it first. First of all, National Review is the medium, and this is written by Ben Shapiro. Ben, thank you for the article. We sincerely and wholeheartedly do appreciate it. If you ever do make your way across this podcast, we just want you to know we appreciate you, and we want you to keep writing, keep doing what you're doing, because you really do tell the truth here, brother. So thank you. That being said, all right, what do you think? Use the comments in this video, okay? Are Democrats blowing it? I want to hear your opinion. That being said, like, don't like, subscribe. What's the other one? Share, you know, all that stuff. Do it if you want to. Don't if you want. I'm going to be okay regardless, but the one you have to do is comment. It's the only way I can make my podcast better is if you comment. So please, by all means, comment. Say anything you want. Just be nice. Be professional, okay? Are they blowing it? Well, you guys just saw the video. You saw the little miniature statistics. You want to know why the Democrats are blowing it? Because they are blowing it, by the way. And there's a joke there that I really want to say, but I'm not going to because it's a bit inappropriate. But they are blowing it. Why? Because every Democrat you saw in that video that I just played, that's why. Simple answer. There's a few more we could throw in there, obviously, but that's it. That's it in a nutshell. That's why. Because the Democrats, people who tend to vote Democrat or caucus Democrat, are fed up with these people. I mean, look at them. Look at Nancy Pelosi over here. Can the woman's face get stretched anymore? I don't think so. Her face is gonna fall off if they attempt to stretch it one more time. She's had that face stretched so many times. Who is it? It's you hear me talk about him all the time. Mark Levin, the talk show host. He calls her Nancy Stretch Pelosi. And he's right. Look at her. Oh, I know this is distasteful for me to attack her that way, but I despise her. She is so. You ever listen to her open her mouth? Everything she will just yabber on and on and on and not actually say anything worth saying. She really will. And then we got, oh, of course, we got Minority Leader Chuck Schumer over here. Now this SOB is just a blatant. He has a blatant disregard for integrity and telling the truth. He's a typical Democrat, typical liberal, typical left-leaning. Whatever you want to call them. That's what they do. They twist and turn. He's a politician, really. I really shouldn't even break it down by party. It's partisan there. He's a politician. That's what they do. They twist, they turn, they lie. There's no integrity. Y'all ever seen House of Cards on Netflix? Boom! That's true. That's your deep state for you. You know, now, I think they may have based that off of Hillary and Bill Clinton. Excuse me. Former president Bill Clinton and former secretary Hillary Clinton. And I think that it very well may have been based off of them. At least that's maybe where the inspiration came from for whoever wrote it. But anyways, I'm getting off topic again. Sorry. I mean, they are blowing it. Are they going to take back the House? It's possible. Who knows? I hope not, man. If they do, President Trump's got some problems. They're doing everything they possibly can to impeach that man. They really, I don't understand. They cannot stand President Trump. And I almost think that it's not President Trump, per se. Now I sound like my uncle, speaking Greek, per se. Or no, Latin, excuse me. I think it's just anybody that has an opposing view, period. Now, hear me out on this. Pay attention. Okay, you have all these colleges, these universities, all the education. They've gone extremely left. I mean, to the extreme to where you have people just going buck wild over a conservative speaker coming to speak. And then they claim to represent liberty, free speech, and all that jazz. But it's the biggest hypocrisy I've ever seen. There's no tolerance whatsoever for an opposing view. You know, it very well may be possible that other people know what they're talking about. You may not be right every time. I'm just saying. I know I'm wrong most of the time. But at least I know it, and I'll admit it, and I'll listen to an opposing view. There's no tolerance for it whatsoever. That's the first strike right there. That's their problem. And now you have the younger generations coming out of these liberal schools. That's their mentality. So now you have Democrats who run for election and they think they've got it licked. I mean, it's beat. Obama's third term was coming. No, I'm not saying there's a conspiracy and Obama was going to, stay in office and not transfer power. No. Okay? I'm saying Obama's third term was coming in the form of Secretary Clinton if she were to be elected. That was the point. Get her elected, she can continue the work. Because the truth is, if Democrats would have gotten elected again, we were at a point of no return. Their agenda was happening full force. And remember, I say it every time. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been saying it. If you don't take anything else away from this podcast, at least take this away from it. Hear me out. These people are dangerous. You've heard me say it before. I'm going to keep saying it and driving it in your heads. That's my phone vibrating. These people are dangerous. And they truly believe the crap they peddle. That, ladies and gentlemen, is why they're so dangerous. Remember that. They're destroying this country fundamentally. Within, destroying this country. So that third term, Hillary Clinton, she was going to come in and she was going to continue the work. Truth is, Hillary Clinton is not conservative. She's not liberal. She's not in between. She's nowhere. All right? That woman was just anything to get elected. Anything to get what she wanted. That's all she ever was. She had conservative views. She had liberal views. She did them both. Okay, she had some good views. She had a lot. She had mostly bad views. Don't get me wrong. She's not a liberal. She's just not a conservative. She's not a Democrat. She was Hillary Clinton. She was a sleazeball. She was a criminal. She was a crook. She was responsible for murder. You know what? I'm getting off topic. I'll stop. But she wasn't any of them except Obama's third term. That's what she was. That's what she represented. Now, Obama's administration had put so many things into place that they needed to continue. Remember, they wholeheartedly believe in that crap they're peddling. Obama, he's a statist. Thank you, Mark Levin, stole the term from you. And he is. He's a statist. And he believes he comes from that anti-capitalist movement. Look at his background, look at his father, all that jazz. That's one thing Dinesh D'Souza, I feel, got right. Which, by the way, Trump pardoned him. Isn't that something? Or he's going to. I didn't see if he did or not. He probably did. But he was right. There's this anti-imperial movement, and Obama's part of it. You notice how he degraded our country? That's what they want to do. They want to turn us into part of the world. That's the one thing about America. We've always been different. First of all, we are the beacon on the hill that represents liberty. I mean, we're the greatest constitution to ever exist on the face of this earth. We represent liberty. We represent freedom. Now, we brought that beacon across the world. It wasn't our concept. Our founding fathers just realized it, of course, by giving their lives for it, for a greater cause. And these people want to tear it down. That's what they want to do. And they want to make us part of the world. You ever heard anybody say, well, it's been Americanized? My younger brother, he's a professional soccer player. Yeah, I'm bragging, I know. He's very good, by the way. And I remember listening to him say, because we were talking about football versus soccer, the different terms and how they actually, soccer actually came from England, the name did. But he says, well, it's just America, how America always Americanizes everything. And it's the first time I ever heard anybody say that. This was some years ago. And I thought, what do you mean? Well, now as I'm a little bit older and kind of looked into it, obviously we do. That's what we do. We take things, we do it different. Prime example, look at football. American football is not football. We Americanize things. We're different. We're proud of it. Why do we have to be like the rest of the world? Seriously, why? We don't have to be. These people want us to be. They are radicals. They're fundamentally changing us within, making us like the rest of the world. They want our borders open. Why would they want our borders closed? It doesn't benefit them. First of all, they're going to transfer illegal immigrants into votes. That's first and foremost. Obviously, we all know that. But why else? Why flood all these people into America? By opening our borders, you no longer have a nation. I don't give a damn what anybody else says. By opening our borders, we no longer have a nation. Period. End of discussion. There's no disputing that. Okay? There has to be a perimeter. Or there's no nation. Well, they don't want us to have a nation. They want us to be part of the one world system. That's the ultimate goal. I know, sounds like a conspiracy theory again, but the more we really think about it and pay attention to their agenda, it's indisputable. Look at the proof. The proof's in the pudding. I knew a man who used to say that all the time. Proof's in the pudding. Just look at what they do. It's obvious. At this point, it's in your face. And the worst part is they got half the country okay with it. They have literally radicalized, maybe not half the country, but you get my point, at least 60 million of them. I mean, they really have. How many people voted for President or Secretary Clinton? That's how many people they've radicalized, or at least fooled. One or the other. So, there I go. Getting off topic. But I'm going to circle back around. I'm going somewhere with this, okay? I am going somewhere with this. How are the Democrats blowing it? What are they doing? Comment for me. Tell me. What are they doing? Okay, well, we can continue the discussion. I can make the podcast live if you guys want. I'll do a lot more podcasts on this same topic. You know, we can have fun with this one. What are they doing? How are they blowing it? Are they blowing it? Are the Republicans blowing it? Here we go. And Ben, Mr. Shapiro, thank you. Thank you for the article. National Review, thank you. We appreciate it. All right, Trump is not flamming out. Jobs and the economy are throoming. And their Sanders-style socialism is not winning new fans. You know, it's very interesting that this, the author, Mr. Shapiro, Ben, thank you, says Sanders-style socialism. We're going to touch on that here in a second, but let's read this real quick. Just a couple paragraphs, that's it. In 2016, congressional Democrats were given a gift, the election of Donald Trump, right? Trump's approval ratings had never crossed 51%. They consistently hovered in the low 40s. His personal popularity had always been low, and he had an obvious penchant for jumping on political landmines with both feet. You know, he really did. Like, he's very easy to bait. You know, you could just throw the hook out there. You don't even have to put the bait on the hook. Just cast the line, the hook's on out there, and he'll bite. He really will. And I don't want to. I'm not talking bad about Mr. Trump here, or President Trump. But it's true. He does. You know, we all got our faults. He'll bite. But now, at the same time, he'll fight you. He doesn't just cower in the corner like most Republicans do. No. President Trump will fight you too. He'll bite the hook, but he'll fight you. All right, anyways. All Democrats had to do was sound reasonable. And they'd probably take back House of Representatives in a sweeping fashion. And then Ben says, oh, well, you know, Ben, I'm right there with you. You couldn't have said it better. Oh, well. Too bad for them. They screwed that up, didn't they? The latest polls show that the generic ballot lead for Democrats has dropped from a nearly insurmountable 13 points in December to about 3 points today. According to a new CBS News/YouGov tracking poll, the odds on a Democrat House takeover are now about 50-50. On average, since 1865, the party in power has lost 32 House seats and 2 Senate seats in midterm elections. Democrats need just 24 seats to flip the House this year, yet they're still falling short. Why? Why indeed, Ben? Why are they falling short? Let's go ahead and highlight that one. Okay. Because Democrats can't hem themselves in on 2 topics, Trump and policy. Interesting theory. I'm liking where you're taking this, Ben. I'm liking where you're taking this. Let's see where it goes. Democrats had a massive opportunity when Trump was elected. An ideological nonconformist and a reactionary personality, Trump seems particularly susceptible to praise and flattery. I can't. Ben, please quit using such big words. Okay, I'm getting tongue twisted here. All right, praise and flattery. Imagine a Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, that's a Democrat sleazeball from New York, and House Minority Leader Nancy Stretch-Face Pelosi, Democrat from California, had strolled into the Oval Office during the first week of Trump's presidency, sidled up to Trump, and told him that they'd love to impose indelible change on America by granting everyone comprehensive health care. There's a decent shot that with the help of then White House Chief Strategist Steve Bannon, Trump would have gone full Bernie Sanders. I'm not so sure I believe that, but Ben, you're the expert here. You know, I'm going to take your word for it, and I'm not going to debate it, okay? That isn't complete speculation. In September 2017, Trump went over the heads of congressional Republicans in favor of working with Schumer and Pelosi to avoid a government shutdown. Maybe because he wasn't playing party politics and he wanted to do the right thing. The man has an agenda, Ben. He has an agenda, all right? And by the way, By the way, anybody else notice how he's the first president in modern times, at least since I've been alive and paying attention, to actually do what he says? Anybody else notice that? Like, I mean, the guy actually is doing everything he said. Who would have thought? I didn't think an actual politician could do that. I really didn't. Now, I kind of answered my own question there, though, didn't I, ladies and gentlemen? Why? Well, because he wasn't a politician. He was an outsider. That's why I don't like him. He's not part of the establishment. You hear how Ben here, who's pointing these things out, how he called him a revolutionary, a nonconformist? Yeah, he's an outsider. He doesn't conform to their crap. You know. Now, he could sell out down the road eventually. He may have already sold out. I don't know. But I doubt it. Anyways, let's move on. But instead of playing nice with Trump, while stoking the flames of anti-Trump ire with their base, Democrats promised I don't know how to pronounce it. What, Ben? Really? Come on, man. I only have a bachelor's education here. Something. Trump would flame out, retire, be impeached, be prosecuted by Robert Mueller for Russian collusion and all the rest. And that's what they think. You know, you notice they're trying everything they possibly can to get him out. And it's not working, by the way. And it feels great. Trump wasn't merely a bad guy. He was, quote, the worst guy. That one definitely deserves a pretty color. Ben, I agree with you there. A buffoonish Hitler clad in the armor of cruel conservatism. You know what? The whole thing deserves a pretty color. Trump wasn't merely a bad guy, he was a worse guy. Buffoonish Hitler clad in the armor of cruel conservatism. But there's a problem. Trump hasn't flamed out. Mueller, so far, hasn't come up with credible evidence on Russian collusion, and even the high hopes surrounding porn star Stormy Daniels, who, by the way, is just looking for a headline, have gone flaccid. You know, Ben, I got it. Thank you. You gotta love your sense of humor. I caught the pun. Did anybody catch it? Let's go over it again just real quick. I know. Who cares, right? But I gotta point it out. All right. He says, and even the high hopes surrounding porn star Stormy Daniels have gone flaccid. It's just too much. Ben, quit, man. Just quit it. You're too much, buddy. Trump himself seems alternatively irked by his office and trollishly empowered by it, but never willing to walk away. That's dispiriting to the Democratic base, which spends each morning fuming over the latest Trumpian Twitter storm, thrilling to an extremist musing of kooks such as Maxine Waters, another stretch face from California. All of which means that Democrats have been forced to turn to the second prong of their 2018 attack. Policy. Okay, well, but on policy, the Democratic record looks even worse. Trump's rhetoric continues to fuel feelings of unmoored chaos, but the markets continue to soar. The job market grows, and we're not in the middle of any serious foreign policy crisis. In 2016, CNN, mind you, let's stop there. He's right. He's right. Ben, thank you. Good point. Okay? Economy's booming. No other way to say it. Jobs are down. Or unemployment numbers are down. Period. End of story. Don't argue it, because it's true. Okay? Well, you don't need to try and hit me with these statistics. All right, I've looked through them a lot. Okay? I pay attention to the market. I'm a real estate investor. I need to pay attention to the market. We're booming. Period. So shut up. I don't want to hear your argument on that one. Don't even bother to comment on that one. That's the one you're not going to comment on, okay? I'll erase it. Wait a minute. I don't think I can erase it, can I? Whatever. Who cares? But we're not in the middle of any foreign policy crisis. What did we just see happen yesterday? Why are Democrats blowing it? What did we just see happen yesterday? Did President Trump just sit down? The totalitarian regime leader from North Korea? Well, yes, Weasel, he sure did, didn't he? Yes, he did. What was the result of that meeting? Sure, there's a lot left to happen. Don't take anybody's word for it, because we know North Korea can't be trusted. But remember, all the lies came from his predecessor, not him. They came from his predecessor. So there is hope. Well, he said, let's de-nuke. Absolutely. Let's do it. Let's become part of the world. Now, for the love of God, does anybody here, but raise your hand, if you truly believe that that summit would have happened if Secretary Clinton had been elected president? Anybody? 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 I don't see any hands going up. Huh. Well, that's because we all are in agreement here. Because it wouldn't have happened. And yet, you have the drive-by media, of course. Still, he can't do right. He still can't do right. I mean, they're just reaming into him for setting up this summit. Oh my gosh, they won't quit. Have you ever heard? I want everybody to be honest for a moment. Let's all sit and think and be honest, seriously, with yourself. Comment if you want. You can be honest with me, or don't comment and just be honest with yourself. But think back to President Obama's term, both terms, and his administration. Can you think of one instance where the lamestream media put him down? Can you think of one? Just one. That's all I want. Send me a link in the comments, please. I'd like to see one. And I'm not talking Fox News, because obviously we know Fox News trashed him. Okay? We know that. I'm not denying it. I'm talking all the other lamestream media. Okay? You're not going to be able to find it. And if you do, it's not going to be severe. Not like this. I mean, look at this. Look at them. They're out of control. They don't know what to do with themselves. They're peeing on themselves. Anyways, all right, let's move on. So, kudos to President Trump, by the way, for that summit with Kim Jong-un and North Korea. I mean, who would have ever thought? Who would have ever thought that we'd be sitting down with them, talking peace, talking denuclearization, talking about helping their economy, to get them going, come join the world, come be our brothers and sisters. I mean, who would have thought, right? You know, I'm sure they look at South Korea and they think that could have been us. Kim Jong-un had a Western education. What was it, Switzerland, I think? He's not stupid. He's had, even if it's as bad as America's education, which is in 17th place, by the way, you can thank the federal government for that. Check out the podcast at the end. I'll leave a link so we talk about that. But anyways, he's not stupid. I bet he's looking at it. I don't know. I bet he's looking at South Korea and he's thinking, man, my oligarchy, you know, the elite class, him and all his underlings and, you know, all those crooks, those genocidal maniacs are probably thinking, man, we could be living a lot better right now. So I don't know. We'll see. And that's probably Trump's best position is their economy. I would think. You know, I need to, you know, we'll do that on the next podcast. We'll pull up a couple articles, not just one, and we'll talk about that. Because I really wonder what his best position really is with that. Anyways, let's move on. We're almost done. But on policy, the Democratic record looks even worse. Trump's rhetoric continues to fuel feelings of unmoored chaos, but the markets continue to soar. The job market grows. And we're not in the middle of any serious foreign policy crisis. In 2016, CNN Money warned, quote, a Trump win would sink stocks, end quote. Nope. You catch that? You catch the humor there? Thank you, Mr. Shapiro. Pelosi warned that Trump's tax cuts were mere, quote, crumbs, end quote, that would amount in nothing. Nope. Hollywood celebrities warned about the significant possibility of global thermonuclear war. Anybody want to say it for me? Nope. Democrats promised a dystopian hellscape. I don't know what that is. I honestly do not know what that is. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I sound like a retard now because I don't know what that means. But, anyways, instead, they got an economy so good that the New York Times ran a piece headline, quote, "We ran out of words to describe how good the jobs are." Nope. Nope. Shut up. Democrats have therefore had to fall back on their font of ideas. A 76-year-old socialist loonbag from Vermont, an ideological leader of their party, Bernie Sanders, has spent the last few months gallivanting around, stirring up the populist revolution for $15 minimum wage. His most recent target, Disney, a corporation that leans to the left and employs some 200,000 Americans. Oh my gosh, Disney's huge. Sanders' preferred policy prescriptions have always been embraced by Seattle, which is busily alienating its major businesses, ranging from Amazon to Microsoft, and California, which continues to look more like Mad Max than Mount Vernon. So perhaps policy isn't the big winner Democrats are looking for either, which means that Democrats have only two strategies left. Wait for Trump to implode, which, okay, it's possible. it's like, Ben, stop it, man. You're too much. You're too much, Mr. Shapiro. Wait for Trump to implode, or wait for his policies to implode. Oh, man. Oh, let's highlight that one. Mr. Shapiro, you're too much, buddy. You are too much. But he's right. He's definitely right. Both are possible. Trump is the most volatile president in modern American history, and economic downturns are rarely foreseeable. But for the moment, Democrats are in real trouble. And they are. So, what do we know? Let's recap. How are Democrats blowing it? What are they doing? Let's think back to the numbers here. President Trump has been consistently in the low 40s in approval ratings. You know, and somebody like Mr. Shapiro, which, by the way, Mr. Shapiro, thank you for writing this article. We really do appreciate you. Just in case I haven't said it once or twice tonight, just want to say it again. We appreciate you. Keep doing what you're doing. But one thing Mr. Shapiro fails to see here is those statistics don't mean jack crap. They mean nothing. Absolutely nothing whatsoever. Call me a liar. I dare you. Go into the comments and say I'm wrong here on this one about the statistics. And I'll debate you on it. Because what I'll do is I will then go pull out the statistics from the election. You know, remember the election that Hillary had in the bag based off this statistics? All the numbers? All the experts? Yeah, my point exactly. Bernie Sanders is a self-proclaimed socialist in the Congress of the United States of America. Did you ever think you would live to see the day? You know, I really sit here and think about that. Wow. Never thought we'd have a self-proclaimed socialist. That's what they all are. Most of those Democrats are. We know their agenda, ladies and gentlemen. We know what Stretch Face Pelosi's agenda is. We know how she thinks nobody actually matters. We know how she's better than all of us, right? Even her constituents. And then, of course, Slimeball Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer over here. Well, come on now. Don't fight me on this one. He's better than us, isn't he? He doesn't work for us. We answer to him, right? Isn't that how that works? Or do I have that wrong? Do I not know my Constitution? Because every time that sleazeball opens his mouth, all I hear is, well, you answer to me. That's all I hear. Well, that, and he calls Trump every name in the book and, you know, lacks integrity, of course. How are Democrats blowing it? Shoot, how did Trump even get elected? Remember the experts? And all their numbers? Trump didn't have a chance. I'm going to give you a prime example of how they're blowing it. You ready? The Tony Awards. And actually, you see an advertisement for it right here. Just notice it. Robert De Niro. Juvenile stunt at the Tonys. What did he do? He walked straight up to the podium, or the microphone, without missing a beat. With sheer hatred in his heart, you could hear it. I mean, the guy was serious. He is just mad. I mean, just pure hatred in that man's heart. He walked straight up to that microphone, and he says, F Trump. It's not even done with Trump anymore. It's F Trump. Why? Well, what was the last straw to get him to change it to F Trump, the phrase now, with all that hatred in his heart? Because he saw how good Trump was doing. We'll treat him with respect. President Trump was doing. Because right before then, what was he doing? Well, he was sitting down with the leader of North Korea for the first time in how many years? Making progress. Doing what he promised he'd do. That's one of the ways they're blowing it. It's a prime example. You see how mad Robert De Niro was. I mean, he was so furious when he went up to that microphone. Like, you ladies and gentlemen, you gotta go back and watch it. I might stick a link in there. If I remember, I'll stick the link in down below for everybody to see it real quick. I mean, he just stomped up to that microphone and F Trump. And you could just see the red hatred in his eyes. It has got to be so difficult to live like that every day with so much hatred in your heart. You cannot stand the fact that President Trump is actually doing good. That he's successful. That he's keeping his word. He's doing what needs to be done. He just can't stand it, can he? Well, neither can these two sleazeballs either. Old Stretch and Slimeball. They couldn't either. Look at them. How mad they are. Look at her. You guys see that? Look at them all. They're just so pissed off. That's why they're blowing it. Because stunts like Robert De Niro and that sack of crap. That's why. The Hollywood elite, whatever you want to call them, they're not elite in my eyes. Why? Because they all have some money. Is that what it is? Because they have more money than me? Because most of them, yes, they do. They have way more money than me. But, really? Is that what it is? Is that what life's all about? Because you have more money than me? That you're better? That you have the right to tell me what's better and what's not? Do you guys remember when Secretary Clinton was running against Trump? President Trump? Or, well, then candidate Trump? Do you remember the celebrities having that commercial coming out and saying that we have to vote for Hillary? Like, they made their mind up for us, right? They made our mind up for us, excuse me. They said, look, no, you have to vote for Hillary, period. Okay? Because Trump's going to destroy this country. You know, they're going to drop nukes on us. What did Hillary say? That man, this is real. That man's going to have his finger on a button. I would rather him have his finger on the button than her. I'm just saying. I'm being honest. I really would. I don't trust her. I know I'm yammering on, ladies and gentlemen. Are you guys starting to get my point, though? Comment. Please comment below. Tell me what you guys think. How are the Democrats blowing it? Seriously, tell me. What do you guys think? Because I think they're blowing it by being themselves. By allowing their true nature to come out. By showing who they really truly are. That's how they're blowing it. You could spout off statistics all freaking day long until you're blue in the face. I'm not buying it. Truth is, the truth always has a way of coming to the surface. We do find out eventually. We will see who you really are. And that's what's happening. President Trump's unwavered by these people. I don't know how he does it. I don't have that much courage. I don't have that much courage. I don't have that much drive. I really admire him. I look up to him for it. Because I don't know how he does it. These people just beat him down day after day after day. And he just doesn't waver. Like he stands up to it. Like it doesn't even faze him. Like he just like whatever. You know? Doesn't even bother him. And what does that do? Well, that shows who the Democrats really are. That's the point. That's how they're blowing it. It's over with. Are they going to take back the House? No, they're not. If they do, well, I'll be the first to say, well, I was wrong. Because it's very possible that they could take that House back. Especially, there's plenty of time left too. But it's definitely possible they can take the House back. I don't think they're going to, though. They might gain a seat or two, give or take, you know? That's how they're blowing it. They're being themselves. True nature of Democrats is coming out. All that hatred that they are taught growing up, all that hatred that they harbor, all that hatred that they encourage amongst themselves and amongst each other, it's all coming out. All of it. And I truly believe that President Trump is actually part of the reason it's coming out. It's forcing it out. Because they don't know what to do with themselves. And so now we see who they truly are. There's no walls to hide behind now. We've seen it already. It's too late. I mean, look at the picture of these two. It's written on their faces. You could look them in the eye. You see the hatred. That's why they're blowing it. That's why they're not going to take the House back. That's why President Trump is going to succeed. Because they are hate mongers and they're hate peddlers. And I, quite frankly, am disgusted and tired of it. This is Weasel saying good night.